What's good, guys? Dope Randy back at it again with another video. This time we're doing the Sofa Racing League Xfinity Series at Atlanta. And as you can see, I finally remembered to do qualifying for a change. And this is a huge race because this is the last regular season race before the first ever Xfinity playoffs begins. And people in this race had one or two agendas. I was in the first agenda, which is get as many playoff points as you can by either winning stages, winning the race, or getting as many points as you can to try to improve your spot in the regular season standings to get more playoff points. And then there was the second boat of people who did not give a damn what they had to do, but they just wanted to win this race. So like I said, my agenda was to get as many playoff points as you can. And I'm in a very tight points battle at the moment with me, the 11 of Major Spy, the 22 of Short Pork, and the 40 of Team Mills, in which Major was second, I was third, Team Mills was fourth, and Short Pork was fifth. Now, I need to gain 10 points on the 11 to get second, and me and Team Mills are separated by 7, and then me and the 22 are separated by 18 points. So it was, I couldn't just mail it in, as they say. As you see, it's the start of qualifying, and we have the usual pit road traffic. Now, I gotta be straight honest with you guys. I did about, 15-20 minutes? Not even that, I'd say about 5-10 minutes of practice here with pretty much no idea of what the Leidos Ford Mustang ought to be as far as PSIs and stuff like that. So I was basically just trying to wing it. Like, my game plan for this race was just to be around the 40 in the 11 and hope something bad happens to him. But he's a good guy. Shout out to him. But to be around the 40, the 11, and the 22, and just let the chips fall where they may. So as you see, we get a good qualifying time. I didn't know what to do about the setup, but it kind of didn't matter because I had the 11th pit stall out of 16, which is not the best. So I'm pretty much going into this on cold turkey, as they say, not knowing what I should do, and let's just try to run a smooth lap, which doesn't happen right there because I get a little loose. But I am catching the 19 of Rockstar, which is, for me, I thought that was pretty good for my confidence that I was catching him. And then here comes the 9 from God knows out of nowhere. Again, the fastest car on the track. And the obvious championship favorite in the 9. So he just gets around all 3 of us. And I just fall back in line here. And at this point, I'm just going to try to draft with the 16, the 19, and the 9 to get the best lap I can. Because I felt like the single core speed wasn't there for the first time in a while. Because I didn't practice, and that was kind of my fault. But it is what it is. And so I succeed in drafting as I get a 30.15, which will be the fastest lap I will have run the entire section of this of both qualifying and the race. But as you'll see a black number 78 just come out of nowhere, and I tried to make it a little aggressive, but that didn't work out. As I apologize to him for pretty much pinching his ass down to the bottom. But no, spoiler alert, the 78 will win the pole, because if you noticed in my mirror, when we took that white flag, he was a second away from me at least. And then he just came out of nowhere and just, I don't know what happened. He must have had the turbo boost on or something, or the draft must have been that dang OP or something, because he just went on a rocket ship, and he will get the pole. As you will see, he will run an amazing lap time. But I think by 15, I was feeling okay. I was feeling pretty good about it. Again, I'm not really, other than just trying to keep the points battle in my favor with the 22, the 11, and the 40, and trying to get as many playoff points as I can. This is really just a fun little exhibition for me, as I qualify third, which is great, as Clayboy does get the pole. And if you notice, it's me, it's the 78, the 16, the 78, the 16, me, and the 9. And if you noticed, all four of us were in that 4 or 5 core pack. And if you're wondering, the 19, the other core in that pack, finished 7th. So as you notice here, I'm starting 3rd, the 40 is starting 6th, the 11 is starting 12th, and the 22 was starting like 5th, or something like that. And so we load up into the race, and as always, if you like my content, I've never said this before, but hit the thumbs up and subscribe, because every little bit helps, and I appreciate y'all's support of the one and only Dope Randy. So we get into the race, and like always, the goal is to not get crashed on the first lap of the race. I think I'm in a pretty good spot, starting 3rd, but we do have the 78 in this. We got Team T-Bone guys in the 2nd row, and just a news flash: when most people have about 3 to 4 guys, 3, 4, 5 guys, we only have 2. So we was already looking at a disadvantage. As you see, the 01 heel, Screb, he was on the agenda that he has to win this race, so he's not going to make the playoffs. I think he was one of the strong cores you had to beat, but as you see here, he just gets booted, and there goes a crash. Now, we get through the first lap, or I get through the first lap, A-OK, and it turns out that these five cores pretty much pulled away from everyone, as I think Rockstar hit the apron right there, but I give him a bump and he's on his way. But I was saying that these 5 cores pretty much broke away from everyone, because I think when Screb got pushed up the track, all hell broke loose behind us. So it was pretty much the 5 of us, and we only have 7 laps in this stage, as this race in general is kind of short. It was only like 41 laps, and so even though we have 7 laps, I feel like I'm faster than the 19, who already has a win. Like 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, as I get loose in the rock, so I'm sorry about that. As as I get P2, and then the 22, who I'm racing with in points, just makes a ballsy move to get failed. And then he's got the momentum. He's going to try to come under me for P2. And me and him are going to go side by side. And I'm just hoping, Lord, don't crash. As I get the run down the back. And then I'm just trying to floor it through the middle. And it sticks. And I clear them for now. But second, third, and fourth already have wins. And are locked into the playoffs. First and fifth, they need to win. So Clayboy is pretty much driving like a madman at the moment. And I don't blame him. Because he pretty much has to win or he's done so. Now I think Rockstar crashed behind us. And that puts Phantom Blade, who also had to win this race to get in fifth. And here comes a 3-wide move for the lead as I try to go under Clay, and I mess up turn 1, and that allowed Sharp to get under me, but I had a good move on the exit as I pretty much choked this turn right here, and we get side by side for the lead. Coming to 3 laps to go. It's pretty much going to be the two of us. As we go into turn 1, I'm trying to let that middle lane walk. He kind of goes up the track a little bit, but I don't hit the wall, so I carry that momentum into 3, and I'm trying to use that middle line again, and like the last lap, it works, as I want to clear him, but I don't want to because I had a feeling he was going to take everyone out. So I tried that middle line again and won, and it just does not work. I hit the fence. And there goes the 22 around. There goes the 39 while you're at it. Me and him are side by side going into 3 with 2 laps to go. As I'm going to get that middle line, the high line, a chance, but it just does not work. As we have 1 lap to go in the stage, sponsored by Credit One Bank. I want to go to the preferred line on the track, which is the bottom, as I get around the 39 for P2. And I'm trying to catch the 22, but I don't think it's going to be enough, as I get a good turn 3 right here, and he slides up the track a little bit, and it's only down to a 10th, but it's just not enough time, as the 22 wins stage 1. And I get P2, and that's a shame, because me and him are literally side by side, are close in points, and yeah, that's unfortunate. But I was so close to him that I think it was only like 17 points now between me and him, and the 40 got P8, so I gained on him, and as you see, Major Spy got 9th, so I gained 7 on him. So I did not know what to do as far as setups. So someone told me, one of my teammates told me, I can't remember who it was, but he said that you can use the Indianapolis setup at Atlanta and it's going to work fine. So that's what I decided to do. I didn't get it all in time, and I bumped the wedge a half a turn up, so I'm not completely sliding, as I thought I was one of the fastest people at Indy, so might as well give it a shot, right? So we got 9 laps in stage 2. We had about 3 guys that did not pit, and we're all getting squirrely back. We're all getting squirrely, as this is pretty much the red zone. And right here, you'll see that the 22 gets loose, and he gets into me, And I almost save it, but it doesn't work out that way, as I get hit, and it's just a racing deal. I think the 22 and the 39 hit, and they hit each other. When the 22 got loose, he was completely around 75 degrees ish. I'd say about 75 degrees. That's a good estimate. As though crashing up here again. And at the end of the day, I'm up to 7th, which is pretty much where I was. So I'll take it. But just think, if I didn't crash, I'd probably be up into the top 5. But it's all good. But yeah. But back to the big crash in turn 3. The 22 and the 39 got loose, and the 22 was completely at like 75, 80 degrees to the track. It just came down, hit me, and I got loose, and there's nothing I can do about it. So at this point, I'm just don't spin it out, because as you can tell, I was kind of loose throughout stage 2 in general. As anytime I'd go towards the yellow line, I would the car would want to spin out, which is the last thing I want to do. And I was just not feeling comfortable at all in this stage. Just look at this. That is pathetic driving by me. As we see the 52 of JW pretty much drive up to the back of me, and he has to win this race. He has to win this race to get in. So he's gonna drive like a madman. So you can see the back end wants to come around, but it never really does. As this is also a pretty short stage, as we have 4 laps to go already. As you see, I want to join that full car pack up there, but I can't, because this number 6 is a piece of garbage at this point in the race. As I let the 52 go by me, because I don't know what to do. And I guess I'm going to be racing the 52 to the end of the stage. Like as I say, this was probably one of the worst races as far as speed, general speed. Even though I'm 8th and I'm pretty happy I'm gonna get stage points, I wasn't as fast as I normally am. And I just completely missed the setup. As we got 2 laps to go, me and JW are having a good ass battle for P7 here. As I get around him and he lets me go. As we're catching the 07, and that's an encouragement. As I think the 07's going to pit right here, and he does. So this is pretty much going to be a battle for 6th, coming to the 1 lap to go. Sponsored by Credit One Bank. Hashtag cheap plug. As JW gets around me in turn 1. As he washes up the track, I'm going to do the crossover down the back straight for the final time in stage 2. As I have to perform line. And as long as I don't screw it up, I should have the spot. As I give him a little block, he gets into my corner pedal. It's all clean. It's all good. As I finish 5th, as the actual leader of stage 2, coming out of turn 3, Hunty pits for God knows why. It wouldn't have mattered. Yeah, he pits. And he goes from 1st to 9th in the stage. So that gets me an extra point. And the 40 does win the stage. So at this point, I'm like, as long as I finish ahead of him in the actual race, I should be okay as far as beating him in the regular season standings. I know the 22 did not get stage points, and the 11 did not get stage points. So that I'm still in. Where am I at? I think I'm in second as of right now, because I think I passed Major Spy. So as long as I finish ahead of the 11, the 40, and the 22, I should be second in points. But will that happen? We'll have to see. As for result in 12th in stage 3, and you know the drill, just don't wreck and we ought to be fine. As the 01 goes down and there's a big crash, I found a big hole and I took it and it worked, so I'm up to 7th, so that's all good. And then Maverick is just, we're just going to get around him. And as you see, me and Major's going to take it 3 wide with them, as we do successfully. And the problem is, Major is right freaking there. As I think I was experiencing a little lag. I saw a couple of cars do what Major just did on my screen, but it's nothing detrimental or anything. It's just minor. As me and him continue to go side by side for P6, and Team Mills gets shot up the track by someone, and here comes the 9 like a bat out of freaking hell, and he's going to bring the 51 of Matt's with him. So I'm going to go from battling with the 11 to getting passed by 2 people in about a span of 15 seconds, which is always lovely, ain't it? So I'll fall back in line. It's pretty much these 8 are within, I mean, you can see on the leaderboard. The next closest guy is a second, 1.2 seconds back, and it's all good. Now, big moment of the race. That's a lap cool. Putting the leader on the apron, and then they both get loose, and then they're going to take each other out, and then it's all from there. As we have a 4-car pile-up, including the lap cool, and we all get through it. And Watchell then gets loose going into 1, so I go from 8th to 4th, and it's like nothing ever happened. And you know those 3 cars I was battling with for the last couple of laps? We go from back half of the top 5 to now the lead pack, which is always fun. So right here, like, at this point I felt like I still didn't have the single car speed to just overtake these 3. As like I've been saying in stage 2, I think I just missed the setup, like, not completely, but not to where we needed to be a winning machine tonight. But as you see, I'm just pretty much biding time at this point, as Rotzel in the 19 goes under me, as they're having some tough, fun racing up there. And my mindset at this point was that someone's gonna crash. That block is gonna get, one of these times that block is gonna get overused to the point where someone's gonna get torn. And as long as I miss it, I've got the race won, because they are gonna take each other out. And so I was pretty much just chilling back here in P5, just kinda hoping they would crash and I don't screw anything up. As you can see, I just do not have the speed. Okay, but actually, I was I was about 90% at this point. Because A, like I said, I thought someone was going to crash up there because of a block that would go wrong. And then B, I just didn't have the speed, like I've been saying over and over and over. So they're having a relative battle for the lead. I'm just chilling in P5. As you can see, the next closest pool is Hunty, who got taken out by the lap core of I-Transform, I believe, in the one, and there he is right there. I don't know what he's doing. So it's pretty much just us, and if we don't crash, if any of us don't crash, this is going to be for the win. As, again, they're having relative and great battles for the lead, as all blocks have been used perfectly to this point. As the 51 gets loose, just a touch, and then the 19 washes up the track and hits the 9, and then the 9 goes back about a couple of tenths, but he'll get the draft and come right back up to us. I capitalize on this and take third, but then Watson on the crossover gets me back for P3, so I'm back to 4th. But no, I felt like the 9 had the fastest speed, like amongst the 5 of us. So
Hold your line.
I felt like he was going to get back up there, and he does right heel, because I see him coming, and I don't want to deal with it,
Hold your line.
so I just get him. He gets around me, no problem. And we got 7 laps to go here, as the 19 gets close to the apron, gets loose. I don't pay attention to the turn, and loose tail and hit the fence in turn 1, which is now making this pretty much a 3-car battle. But finally the 9th had enough of it and pretty much spun the 11. I mean, not the 11, the 51, and got the 11 all loose, and everyone pits anyway. So I stay out, lead a lap, even though it doesn't matter. And I'm going to come in this time by, as I'm the only one who didn't pit in that lead pack. Now,
You're running on fumes.
I had to pretty much run the perfect race to win this. And right here eliminates it all, as I barely clipped pit road. And I was going to take 2 tires the whole time. But the game just decides, I don't know what the game is doing here. As I'm going backwards and all, I don't know what it's doing. I eventually get it straightened out. But barely making it on the pit road
5 laps to go.
pretty much costed me a chance to win, or to have a top 5, because I just get all squirrely and loose in the whole 9, and then the game just decides to glitch. It was my fault. I should have gotten it slowed down further, as I did practice getting on pit road and missed it about 2 out of the 3 times I actually did it, so it was my fault. It's all good. We're back to 9th, which is a bummer. As you see, the 22, I'm ahead of the 22, so we should be good there. The 40 and the 11 are also ahead of me, so that sucks. So at this point, I'm just chilling, surviving. By the way, I took 2 tires. So that is the cherry on top of the trash cake that I've been dealt with. As you can see, they're starting to kind of catch me, kind of not, which I was surprised, because I think either A, everyone took a can and 2 tires, or B, I finally found something, but it was too little too late. So I'm in 9th. With 3 laps to go, just hoping to get this race over with, as we have a crash right here involving T-Mills, in the one again of I Transform. And good for me. I get 8th now. I get 8th, and Team Mills falls back to 10th. It's a tough tip for him, but I think that pretty much locked up Theldon points for me, because I think Major was in 2nd at the time of this, and I think he will go on to finish 2nd. Spoiler alert. But as we all come into the right flag, I believe it's either 1 or 2 laps to go. This is the right flag, sponsored by Credit One Bank. As we have as Matt's crashes by I Transform, so that's 3 crashes he's caused, and I move up to 7th. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut and drive, as I think Sharp gets involved in something, and T-Mills gets around him, and then Clayboy gets around him. So I'm going to finish 7th in this race, and considering the practice and the alleged times that I was hearing, I will take a 7th. As you see, Major Spy does finish P2, and Rockstar wins the race for his 2nd of the season. So he will get a crap ton of playoff points. I think he's going to have 7. He already had 7, plus 5 is 12, and then whatever he gets into points. But I think I'm going to finish 3rd in the points. I already did the math, and I'm going to be either a 3, I think I'm either going to be a 3 or a 4 seed going into the first Xfinity playoff race, which is going to be on Monday, but you'll probably see it on Tuesday or late Monday night. It depends how I feel. But it's at Las Vegas, and I'm going to get back on the grind. I practiced as soon as that race was over at Vegas, and I felt like I have something for the boys. Like, I found a line, and it's all good. So I will see you at Las Vegas, and thank you all for the support. Make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you want more content. Thank you to all.